Hey guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to talk about Daniel Prude, Rochester, New York. Another, I was going to say questionable death, but it's not even questionable. The coroner ruled it a homicide, death by asphyxiation. He was strangled to death. He was murdered, a homicide. The coroner stated that. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this initially, but now that I see the coroner's report, especially, this is exactly the reason why I think we need to have more social work, drug help interaction, as opposed to just police, diversify and refund the police departments. All right, let me talk about, there was PCP in his blood system. Now, as you guys know, I've done drugs. I have done PCP before. And from what I remember, it was just I blacked out. I don't remember a lot of what happened. That being the case, I imagine if this man had lived, he was not in control of his faculties whatsoever. I don't know if any of you have seen the video yet. The thing that troubles me too is he's sitting. You can see it's snowing. I guess this happened on March 23rd. It was snowing it's up in Rochester, and it snows quite a bit up that way near Syracuse with the lake effect snow. But anyway, and he's sitting on the pavement, buck naked. And the thing that bothers me too is the police seem rather uninterested, and they're kind of joking around, talking something about how he almost got hit by a car, and they're kind of laughing here and there. That bothers me. I'd be interested to know how long he was sitting there before he got helped. I got to wonder why they didn't just put a blanket around him or sit him on something. Can you imagine sitting on the cold pavement, buck naked, all you guys out there? That bothers me. All right, so let's talk about the hood they put on him. I've seen this hood in real life. I've seen my friends put into this hood, and I've seen it on shows like Cops and stuff like that. It's a mesh hood that you're supposed to be able to breathe through. You can breathe through. I think where the problem happened is it appears that one of the officers came up and similar to George Floyd, pushed his head down into the pavement, because you could hear Daniel panicking and saying that he can't breathe. You can hear that his voice isn't right. It's muffled. The problem here is with the hood, you can't tell exactly how much of his nose and mouth are pushed down and into the pavement, and he's unable to breathe. You can't get a clear view of if he's getting the proper oxygen. I think that's what happened. So he died 7 days later. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this because it's a couple months old, and I know these hoods, and I wasn't sure. To me, the hood alone, I don't know if it could cause asphyxiation because I've seen these hoods. But after I saw the whole video and the part where they pushed his face into the ground, and then the coroner's ruling that this is a homicide. This is a homicide. Daniel Prude died from being murdered. He was murdered. All right? Coroner's report, and yet there's no suspects, no nothing. I'd imagine, isn't that a problem for anybody else out there? This bothers me on a lot of levels, white or black. How it involves drugs, and these officers should be trained and have greater concern, greater urgency to get help for this man, so he doesn't OD. So he doesn't hurt himself, to get him treatment quickly instead of just standing around him. kind of laughing and getting a kick out of the naked guy sitting in the middle of the road, the crazy naked guy, because that's what it looked like they were doing. This bothers me the most because I was that guy. I was that addict. I think we need a greater awareness of also, not besides for the racism aspect of this, but people or social workers that are educated in treating drug addicts, because these officers certainly didn't look like they had any training or any care that this man needed immediate physical and mental help. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. It's just one more instance. I think this is a big example for why we need to just diversify, and not so much use the guns and the batons and the stun guns, but drug treatment. Also, his brother is the one that actually called police, and there's an excerpt of him doing a press conference where he's saying, he called the police to get help for his brother, not to have his brother killed. That says a lot right there. For the people out there that still don't get this, that don't understand this, again, I'm just saying, you're not trying to. I think some people are just closing their eyes or trying to look the other way. Anyway, Daniel Prude, Rochester, New York. Another fatality of America's police department. Murdered. All right, you guys have a good Thursday.